that don't make a positive contribution to society. So we're posing a very simple question here. How can companies profit from solving the world's problems, not creating the world's problems? And is your company better off because you're in it or not? So some of the bigger challenges here in this industry are probably more in the social side. We have seen more income inequality coming out of COVID, not less. How can we use this industry to have more inclusion? We have seen democracy being undermined in many countries in the world. How can this industry be a platform of truth, not a platform of lies? We've seen addictions go up on some of these platforms. How can we help kids be truly educated versus being addicted? So the responsibilities that this industry has go well beyond the shareholder, and the companies that understand that will do well. The ones that don't, Chris, they'll be heading already to the graveyard of dinosaurs.
Well, it sounds like we're in for a very exciting session later on, so make sure we tune in for that. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Coming up, Justin Springham is talking to Chief Marketing Officer at the GSMA, Stephanie Lynch-Habib. Thank you for watching Mobile World Live.
Where will you gain unparalleled access to the latest mobile industry data, best practices, and decision makers? Hello, we're the GSMA. We're a member-led organization supporting the global mobile industry to unlock the full power of connectivity so that people, industry, and society thrive. Join as a member and build relationships within the mobile industry. Engineer the future of mobile technology. Participate in industry-leading events. Unlock key intelligence. And collaborate with trusted experts. Participate in global decision-making. For over 30 years, GSMA working groups have driven the evolution of the mobile industry and continue to do so with each new generation of technology and service through 8 permanent working groups, 105 task forces and subgroups, benefiting your organization, transforming the mobile industry. So whatever your business priority and whatever your industry, make the connections that count, including over 15,000 member contacts. And accelerate positive change for your business and the industry through the most influential connectivity community. As of 2021, 100 million lives have been impacted globally through our Mobile for Development work. We believe this is just the start. Become a GSMA member. Participate in working groups. Make a difference in your business, industry, and society.
I'm here with Kyndryl Global Practice Leader for Network and Edge, Paul Saville. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
How have traditional networks made it difficult for businesses to react to changing business dynamics and take full advantage of multi-cloud and edge?
Well, the problem with legacy type networks is just that they're inflexible. You know, they've been built with architectures that involve hardware that's separated from the software. You know, in these days, you'd have to deploy a router, a physical device on a customer premise. You had physical circuits like layer 1 and layer 2 that were connecting everything together, made it very hard for networks to be flexible and to be able to move around. With SDN technology, that changes things, and a lot of the over-the-top type technology is enabling us to reconfigure networks on the fly and make them much more easier to use.
What's the significance of edge when it comes to Industry 4.0 and digital transformation?
Well, the advent of edge compute is really enabling enterprises to take advantage of another type of architectural construct that gives them more optionality in terms of building out different types of performance criteria and operational cost structures. It's kind of like establishing a third landing spot that gives them an additional alternative for how they can configure their networks together and tie together with compute and distributed applications.
So you've recently partnered with Nokia. Could you tell us a bit more about that as companies are looking at industrial 5G and private networks?
Yes, our new partnership with Nokia is very exciting because basically together what we've done is we've created an ability to deploy at a global level private 5G networks for enterprises. You know, this private 5G technology is really exciting, and the potential that it has for enterprise customers to use it and configure it in different ways is really amazing, but it's hard for them to deploy. When you think about going and having to acquire the spectrum, do the radio design, do the deployment on site, connect it up to local area networks and wide area networks, that's a pretty big job for many enterprise IT departments to handle. And so Kyndryl and Nokia together have put together a turnkey solution for enterprises to solve that.
So now Kyndryl's separate from IBM. What's changed?
Well, what's changed is that Kyndryl has the freedom to do a lot more things that they want to do. You know, we have the ability to now go out and partner with different companies in a way that we've never been able to. You may have seen that we have recently announced multiple new alliance relationships with all of the hyperscalers, with a number of companies that we've been wanting to work with for a long time that really enable us to introduce technology that allows us to continuously scan the technology landscape for our customers and recommend the best technology solutions for them.
That's great. Thanks for your insights.
Thank you.
Visit AWS Village in the upper walkway of the Fira South entrance. Interact with AWS experts, explore demos, and discover partner solutions. See you there.
There was no let-up in the action on day 3 of MWC, with speakers turning their attention to NFTs and the metaverse. Keynote speakers from CaixaBank and Sotheby's discussed the impact digitalisation is having on traditional banking and the art world, highlighting opportunities to overhaul customer experience and management. Sotheby's' Charles Stewart explained NFTs, for example, are already delivering new ownership models and ways to engage audiences.
In some respects, I mean, obviously NFTs leverage the blockchain technology. They are a digital certificate of ownership, and like a lot of great technologies, it's something that's just exponentially expanded the actual audience for art in a really interesting ways.
CaixaBank's chairman sounded a note of caution, explaining new customer services require fresh approaches to data protection.
As I have already said, the advantages and opportunities offered by the new technologies are evident, but the massive use of data and their monetization often results in companies ignoring the fact that data, and especially personal data, must be protected by the right of privacy.
Jim McKelvey argued it is important to put power back into the hands of consumers by delivering services which truly offer them control. It was a theme echoed by Hungama Digital Media's founder, Nareed Roy.
Privacy is a very critical part, particularly when you look at Web3 and you look at this decentralized world that's happening. And as I look at the sort of rise of Web3, one of the components we are finding is this younger generation is almost echoing to say, in perhaps even some rebellious ways, to say that, I want that privacy back. And the world, NFTs as well, are just one manifestation of that.
As well as the keynotes, there was also plenty of action from the show floor, with Ericsson back in a big way with a metaverse splash, and SK Telecom's 4D metaverse offering a literal roller coaster ride on a giant robot arm to demonstrate the full potential of 5G. Another big highlight of today was the announcement of our Glomo Award winners, which was streamed live on Mobile World Live. Well, that's all for day 3, but join us tomorrow for a roundup of all the best action from MWC 22 Barcelona. And now, here's a message from our sponsors, Amazon Web Services, who are hosting events all week here in the upper walkway of the south entrance.
At AWS, we're reinventing communications together, and we want you to be a part of the experience at the AWS Village. See how we're enabling CSPs to transform and offer an unlimited range of new services, delivering on the promise of 5G and beyond. Interact with AWS experts, explore demos and partner solutions, and engage with 20 executive-level theater sessions. Join us in the upper walkway of the south entrance at the Fira Barcelona. See you there.
I'm joined on Mobile World Live by Pardeep Kohli, who is the President and CEO of Mavenir. Pardeep, good to see you.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.
Now, Mavenir has a vision of one network, any cloud, all software. What exactly does that mean, Pardeep?
Well, you know, we all use these handsets, and we have seen that you can actually use the same handset, whether it's 2G network, 3G network, 4G network, and 5G network. And all software which runs on this somehow works in all these different networks. What Mavenir is doing is taking all that software, whether it's for the 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, and make it run on any cloud infrastructure. So that way you can run it in your private cloud, or if you have Google Cloud or Amazon or Azure or any of the other different cloud varieties. So we pretty much think of us as the way Apple can make all the software run on the phone, independent of the technology we use. Same thing what we do is Mavenir makes all the network software run on any of the cloud environment.
And you've been something of a trailblazer for open and interoperable networks. Where is the market today?
Well, it depends on the application. It has progressed quite a bit. You know, we started in 2005, and even to do a voice call, you had to build proprietary hardware. We were the first company which actually showed that you can do, you know, messaging, voice calling, just as a software running on a general purpose hardware. And of course, over time, it has evolved where you can do packet core. And now, over the last 5-6 years, we have been working on the Open RAN technologies, where we have proven that even the radio access layer can be done as a software running on a general purpose computing, which could be in a private networking or in any public network. So it is making good progress in the core. I would say, you know, 90% of the carriers will believe that it can be done in a virtualized environment. And Open RAN, we just recently did a survey, and in the article today, you will read that over 75% of the operators definitely believe that they will go in that direction in very near future. And I personally believe that 6G will definitely be all about Open RAN. It's only a matter of, you know, between now and then how many people adopt it.
Of course, behind all of this, there's lots of talk about how AI and analytics is going to help shape the market. How is AI and analytics going to push 5G software in the future?
No, 5G is not, if you look at previous technologies, 2G, 3G, 4G, they're all about communication among humans, right? We use the phones to talk to each other, and that's mainly the humans talking to each other. 5G has many more use cases where you can take the 5G technology, apply it to healthcare industry or robotics or manufacturing. And as a type of devices also change quite a bit. So it's quite impossible for having a network which can deal with these diverse use cases and humans running it. So it has to come to a point where actually you're more automated, you're making the decisions based on the type of network, type of devices using it. And that's where the AI ML comes in, where the software kind of manages itself rather than humans managing the software.
Now, how are we going to see networks evolve then, Pardeep? Tell us a little bit about the role that Mavenir is going to play in this in the coming years.
So we are, as we discussed earlier, we're all about having open interfaces and making software run on a general purpose, open silicon computing. So the bar of innovation has to come down. So if you look at, if you have to launch this particular application, if I have to build a proprietary silicon and then I have to build proprietary hardware and then do a software on it to run an application, the cost of doing a particular application goes quite high. Versus if you can make more and more network run as a software only on a general purpose computing, which is available on a very large scale in the public cloud environment, then the cost of doing innovation in the network comes down significantly. So this is one of the things actually, because of the COVID or even before, the transition had already started of moving all the applications onto cloud. And as you know, cloud is global. It's across all industries. So the telecom operators should take advantage of benefits which this transformation provides and lower the cost of innovating in the network. And that's how we see, that's what Mavneer comes in. We're making the network run as a software so that it makes it easier to bring more applications on top of the networks.
Pardeep, thank you very much for coming into the studio, sharing your insights. We wish you a great MWC 22. Thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy. Thanks.
Where will you gain unparalleled access to the latest mobile industry data, best practices, and decision makers? Hello, we're the GSMA. We're a member-led organization supporting the global mobile industry to unlock the full power of connectivity so that people, industry, and society thrive. Join as a member and build relationships within the mobile industry. Engineer the future of mobile technology. Participate in industry-leading events. Unlock key intelligence. And collaborate with trusted experts. Participate in global decision-making. For over 30 years, GSMA working groups have driven the evolution of the mobile industry and continue to do so with each new generation of technology and service through 8 permanent working groups, 105 task forces and subgroups, benefiting your organization, transforming the mobile industry. So whatever your business priority, and whatever your industry, make the connections that count, including over 15,000 member contacts. And accelerate positive change for your business and the industry through the most influential connectivity community. As of 2021, 100 million lives have been impacted globally through our Mobile for Development work. We believe this is just the start. Become a GSMA member. Participate in working groups. Make a difference in your business, industry, and society.
What is all this about? Shall we take a look?
Good.
I'm so excited!
The GSMA, in cooperation with 3GPP, has created the Network Equipment Security Assurance Scheme to enhance security levels across the mobile industry. By participating in this scheme, network equipment vendors can demonstrate their ability to meet rigorous security requirements that are globally applicable. With NASAS, equipment vendors' ability to build secure products is assessed and products are security evaluated. Both in combination deliver NASAS's security assurance. Security assessments of product development and lifecycle processes are conducted by world-class security auditing companies, ensuring the highest possible standards. Evaluations of network equipment products are conducted by accredited security test laboratories, making the security posture of network equipment transparent to equipment vendors' customers. The requirements are unified and reflect the security needs of governments, regulators, and network operators, and can streamline the procurement process by reducing the need to retest the security of common network elements. By highlighting the ability of network equipment vendors to achieve and maintain security levels, undertaking security assessments, and performing equipment testing of network equipment products, the GSMA is fostering a security by design culture across the industry, driving security gains and increasing transparency for customers. To find out more, please visit gsma.com/NESAS.
Hello everyone. Each morning at MWC 22, we'll be taking a closer look at our show daily, the GSMA's everyday roundup of the latest news across our industry. Today, I'm pleased to welcome a panel of industry experts to discuss all the big stories. Just here, I have Jan Streck, who is the Associate Director at Counterpoint Research.
Morning.
Next up, we have Rohit Gupta, who is Head of Data Acquisition at GSMA Intelligence.
Morning.
And Kester Mann, Director of Consumer and Connectivity at CCS Insight.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining me, guys.
It's great to be here.
So I hope you've all had time to see our show daily, which we painstakingly put together last night. I guess a good place to start is on the front. And the first story we have about, it was a Huawei launch of a lot of smart office products and about their new sort of suite of software. But they were very bullish about return to the consumer sector. Kester, what do you think?
Yeah,
you got a chance?
First of all, Chris, it's fantastic to be back here in Barcelona. I think you can sense the anticipation and the excitement to be here in person again. So it's wonderful to be back. And yeah, I mean, for Huawei, this is it's a big show for them. They've got a big presence here, as you would expect. We're aware of their challenges, but you have to admire their resilience and product launches, push into the business market. Smart home makes perfect sense, I think, given the pandemic and given the changing way that we work and we go about our business. So yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing a lot more from Huawei at this event. And yeah, they've had a very, very good start with some new products. So yeah, good for them.
So what do you think about smart home? Is that a good thing to get into now? Is it a bit late, do you think? Or Ridik, what do you think?
Yeah, I think obviously when it comes to enterprise or digitization solutions, we see a lot more traction in automotive or healthcare per se. So a smart home can be a good direction to actually land into the consumer space, whereas healthcare is more on the enterprise side. And as Huawei is trying to get back onto its foot, or let's say business, after whatever happened in last few years, so I think this can be a good direction for them on the consumer side. Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think?
If I could add, I mean, I think it's a perfect time to get into smart home. The pandemic, has resulted in people working from home more, setting up home offices, just generally doing more stuff on various devices at home. So having that seamless connectivity across all of that is tapping into a segment that's very rapidly growing right now. So it makes perfect sense. I just think there is whether they have that opportunity to get back into the consumer mind in Western Europe? I'm not so sure. There is that telling lack of a smartphone launch in Europe. It's all, for a mobile show, it's mostly non-mobile products, but enterprise is certainly an opportunity for them.
And that seems what we're going for. I mean, it was a very impressive launch, I have to say. Yeah. I was quite impressed, despite the lack, obviously, of a mobile. So the other big story on the front page, we have the GSMA report on the mobile economy. Would you like to take us through that?
Yes, so GSMA Intelligence has unveiled their Mobile Economy 2022 report today. It has got a lot of fantastic statistics, but a couple of them to call out. Obviously, as you can see on the headline, 600 billion of capex investment into mobile networks by 2025, out of which 85% will be driven by 5G. It just does not highlight the interesting statistic, but it also highlights the usage gap, the current usage gap that we need to focus more on. 41% of the global population is still facing the usage gap. So I think that's an important and interesting statistic that mobile operators need to consider and focus on. And another very interesting statistic coming out from the report is 5G is expected to cross 1 billion connection by the end of 2022. So yes, these are the few ones I am calling out, but there's a lot more. So go get your hands on the report and read.
I mean, the 5G number is obviously a big number. Is that in line with what you were originally anticipating?
Yes, so yes, kind of. It's pretty much aligned. And what our analysis and research shows is that 5G has picked up faster than any other previous generation of technology in terms of connection and subscriber count. So yes, it is pretty much aligned, yeah.
And obviously 5G is going to be a huge theme of the show. Jan, is it 5G, how do you view take-up at the moment? Especially in kind of developed markets.
If I could just quickly jump in, actually, just what Radhika was saying about the capex. Well, one thing I think is interesting about that is the question of who should pay for that. So obviously $600 billion is a huge bill for operators. They've already put in a huge amount of money over the last decades, and they're now another 600 billion by 2025. And a lot of the operators are wondering, well, hold on, why should we be footing all the bill for that? And it was towards the end of last year, there were 14 European operators signed a note saying big tech should be should help out a bit here, because the vast majority of traffic over the networks, the vast majority of usage and content being downloaded is Netflix, Facebook, all of that. So operators feel, well, maybe we shouldn't have the entire burden of that. Maybe there should be a bit of help with that.
Yeah, that's a topic that has picked traction in terms of discussion a lot in the last year. Yeah. So let's see where it goes, and let's see if we get any progress or updates on this at MWC.
But who's going to have to push that, though? Because I'm assuming the likes of the streaming companies aren't going to say, right, we'll help you out there. I mean,
I think it's a brave wish from the operators. I can't see that happening.
No, I know they're trying.
But the capex figure is really interesting, because obviously today is the operator keynote session, so we're going to be hearing from the CEOs of Telefonica and Vodafone. And I think we're going to hear some messages from them around return on investment. I mean, 600 billion is a huge number, and of course, this conversation happens at a time when the industry is really pushing for consolidation, and Spain and the UK and Italy have been markets where we've had these discussions about whether we should move down to 3 operators. So I think we're going to be hearing a lot more about that this morning in some of the discussions.
Yeah, very interesting. So moving on, sort of in similar lines, 5G spending. Orange have announced their 5G standalone contracts. Kester, were you surprised by that?
I wasn't really. They've no surprise at all. They're picking the Nokia and Ericsson. They're kind of core suppliers. I think when operators are making their decision on 5G standalone suppliers, it's no surprise to see an evolution of their existing picks. What's interesting, though, of course, is Orange is also a proponent of Open RAN. I think Open RAN is going to be a big theme at this year's event. I think we're going to be hearing an awful lot of it. So I think, in time, it'll be very, very interesting to watch how operators like Orange and also Telefonica and Vodafone, which are also very, very keen on the Open RAN opportunity, how they perhaps start to diversify their vendor picks. But yeah, as you say, Chris, absolutely no surprises on this one from Orange.
Still worthy of a place on page 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you see other operators going with the usual suspects?
Yes, I would very much believe so, because the standalone data set that we maintain at GSMA Intelligence also shows that, we are now seeing momentum and progress on the standalone, either deployments or partnerships. A lot of operators are getting into a multi-vendor partnership. So this may actually become the new norm when it comes to, standalone networks, and pretty much on the lines of Open RAN, where operators are trying to get a bigger control in their hands and have multi-vendor approach and, get more flexibility around that. So yes, I believe other operators can go on the same lines. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not much more to add. I mean, it's the same. European operators have been quite clear in the way they want to go. It's Ericsson or Nokia for reasons, for obvious reasons, and that's the way kind of it's going to go. They'll either stick with the vendors they already have, or diversify with Open RAN providers. So,
yeah. So when it comes to Open RAN, when do you think we're going to see some big deployments? Do you think any of the operators are going to say, right, do you know what, we're just going to go all in on this?
It wouldn't surprise me. There's already been some major trials and major, even commercial kind of Open RAN, slightly smaller scale. But I think this year, certainly, I think we should see some pretty big announcements around that.
I think, in my view, this is a little bit of controversial topic. There are people who are actually supporting Open RAN in a big way, and then there is another group of people. And as Jan already noted, number of operators are involving them in trials and deployments and partnerships per se, but the actual deployments are very, very limited at this stage. The number is, very, very less per our data set. And it continues to be a topic of discussion as to when the deployments will actually scale up, because there are a number of reasons driving the delay in deployment. Obviously, seeing the actual benefits being one of them. There are a number of studies that advocate or propagate cost savings beyond the benefits of more control in operator hands and flexibility. But a lot of operators are still apprehensive because they want to see the actual benefits materializing. And it's also a function of Open RAN is not something I'll just go and deploy. I have to make sense of my old networks first. So if my old networks are already doing well, if my legacy networks are already doing well, there's no point I start laying a greenfield open network from scratch, because it involves cost, it involves money, investment is required. So, it's also a question and function of how will operators manage their legacy or brownfield networks to start deploying a new greenfield Open RAN network. So I think it continues to be a topic of discussion and controversy. Having said that, we definitely expect some momentum this year, but I am not very sure that it will be to the extent of scaling up to a very good number.
Interesting.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would only add that we're hearing a lot of discussion about it. Operators are loving to talk about Open RAN, but what have we seen so far? No commercial deployments really of note, at least from the established players. Dish and Rakuten aside, which are the real trailblazers of that. And I'm sure we'll be hearing plenty from them at the show. But yeah, I agree. I think there's plenty of discussions about Open RAN to be had about does it really help in terms of saving costs? Is the complexity really worth the issue? And now we're well through 5G in a way we've heard already the report about 150, 200 launches and subscribers. Is the ship sailing a little bit on 5G? Is it more of a 6G thing? So yeah, it's going to be all debated and discussed at the event, absolutely. But I think that there's operators are talking a lot, but I think let's see when push comes to shove if they're really going to go for it. And I'm on the fence a little bit on that one, I think.
Do you think you'll see anything at the show that'll persuade you otherwise?
We'll see. I'm really interested to see what Rakuten say. I mean, Rakuten have got a presence here. They've got an event for analysts tomorrow. They're trying to push their Rakuten Symphony product, which is their kind of international offering of Open RAN and some of the expertise that goes around that. So we may see some announcements there as they perhaps help operators to start on that Open RAN journey. So I'm looking forward to hearing about it.
Yeah. And so, obviously, the first day of the event, what are you guys looking forward to the most, and what do you think is going to surprise you the most? Yeah, do you want to take the first?
Being here in physical form.
Is that the thing that surprises you the most, or the thing you're looking forward to the most?
Yeah, good point. Both, actually. Yeah. The fact that we're here, and for me, it's been 3 years. 2019 was last time I was here, and it feels like yesterday. But it would be great to actually physically see people, meet people, and then actually play with some products in real life, actually, and some of the product launches that are here, actually be able to hold them and have a go with them. That's what I'm really looking forward to.
So I suppose on the product launches, even though there aren't the huge smartphones maybe we had a few years ago, for various reasons, obviously there's chip shortages, there aren't as many smartphones coming out. I guess there's lots of products you haven't seen, right, in real
Not
life.
in the flesh, no, as it were. So, I mean, I'm particularly looking forward to the Realme GT2, the Honor Magic 4, the Oppo Find X5. Particularly looking forward to I know that launched last week, but I'm particularly looking forward to playing with those.
Great. So we've got very little time left. So quick thought from both of you on what you're most looking forward to at the show.
Okay, so first and foremost, as Jan also noted, I think I'm coming back to Barcelona after 2019, so very excited. I think I'm very excited by the overall theme of connectivity unleashed, because coming to talk about 5G and 5G era, you can only harness the true power of 5G when it comes in confluence with AI, big data, edge, cloud, everything. And the theme covers it very well. So I'm actually looking forward to all the sessions and product releases and launches of that. And what has surprised me is the number of people that I have seen, coming to MWC. I mean, obviously we knew that it will be a scaled up version of last year.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And
yeah, two things I've mentioned. I know we're short on time. I think private networks is going to be really big. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward. We've heard about 5G, how 5G can help encourage that, and I'm looking forward to seeing some examples. And then we haven't even talked about the metaverse, which I think is going to be a big hot topic.
I thought I'd leave that for tomorrow's show. Okay. And I'm not doing that one, so I'm quite happy about that. Well, thanks everyone for your great insights. And now it's over to Sasha with the news.
Delighted to be joined today by Jeffrey Boslam, who is Partner Sales Director at WebEx EMEA. Hi, Jeffrey.
G'day, how are you?
Great. So my first question, WebEx has been in the news a lot recently with acquisitions, deals, and the launch of new data centers. Can you tell me what is the overarching strategy for WebEx?
Yeah, certainly. If you think of just how much has changed, in the way we work and the way we interact over those last couple of years, and WebEx has been at the forefront of that. And as we start to talk about things like hybrid work and what does that mean, and this new digitization, what does that mean for us moving forward? WebEx is there to help us connect, to keep our customers, our governments, communicating. And we saw this huge growth in demand. It wasn't 2 or 3x, it was 4 and 5x, and it wasn't in months and years. It was in days and weeks. And WebEx being at the heart of it. And so over that time, we've made thousands of innovations, some of that organic and some of that inorganic. So some through acquisitions like the IMI we have here as WebEx Connect now. And then some, we've developed like WebEx Go. And that's to ensure that as we move into the next phase of hybrid work. So if you think of what we've seen to date, it's really been work from home, right? We've all raced home, and now it's about what does it look like in the future, and WebEx is there to power that, to be an inclusive way that we all connect, not just now, but what does it look like in 2 or 3 years' time?
Makes sense. And you mentioned WebEx Go there. Could you tell us a bit more about WebEx Go?
Well, firstly, everyone has a mobile device. Whether it's personally provided or corporately provided, we have a mobile device, and we've powered that with the WebEx app. What we're doing with WebEx Go is taking the next level of integration of that device to the network level and simplifying it right down that your corporate identity, so your corporate number, will appear on your mobile device at a network layer. So you don't have to, as a user, change your behavior. You can just use the same native dialer. And what the company gets is the ability for it to be so simple for them to use their corporate identity. They can control the way they interact with their customers, because you're now having them work from home or work on the road, and that identity they're using is the corporate identity, not their personal or mobile phone. So really tightly integrating the mobile phone at a network layer. That doesn't inhibit the application. You can certainly scale up into the rich collaboration that we've had for years, but bringing that to the next level of integration for end user simplicity and business benefit of controlling that identity.
And the IMI acquisition, it's been showcased here at MWC, and it's creating quite a buzz. Could you tell us a bit about that one?
Super exciting. So IMI acquisition here is WebEx Connect. If we think of the journey that we've been on over the last couple of years, we've all become very comfortable engaging more digitally. Whether that be I get a text message to say my delivery's on the way, or I'm happy to do online transactions, or it could be the fact that I want to get support in WhatsApp or some form of messaging. And it's not just the tech-savvy people here at Mobile World Congress that do this. It's our mums and dads, it's our aunties and uncles. Everyone has become much more comfortable in interacting digitally, and not only more comfortable, wanting it as a preferred mechanism. And so IMI allows every one of those digital interactions to matter. So we work with our customers and our service providers to provide this rich interaction, so that when the world digitizes, when we have more of our engagement this way, WebEx Connect will be at the heart of that transaction.
And coming to this service provider, what are the key messages you want to relay to them in terms of how you support service providers?
So it's very, very important, service providers to WebEx, to Cisco. We believe that it's their DNA coupled with our DNA jointly together that makes the solution as rich and as compelling as it is. Use WebEx Connect. There's other CPaaS platforms out there that might make the service provider look a bit like a aggregator. We don't believe in that. We believe in taking their assets, whether it's as simple as their voice and video, or extending into the network, into their management, into their operations, and bringing that together with the WebEx Cloud. And that creates a really compelling and differentiated user experience for the service provider, for us at Cisco WebEx, and for the customer.
Very interesting developments at WebEx. Thanks for your time.
No worries. Thank you.
Visit AWS Village in the upper walkway of the Fira South entrance. Interact with AWS experts, explore demos, and discover partner solutions. See you there.
The world's largest and most influential connectivity event is back. But before you take part, find out more about our entry requirements. We call it Check-in to Get In. It's mandatory for everyone and helps us maintain a safe environment. There's no physical registration this year, so the first step is to register online. Simply upload your ID and take a selfie. Looking good. Next, automatically validate it with Breeze, our fast-track online facial recognition technology. Breeze also gives you touchless access to the venue. Or you can opt for the standard ID check, which is done manually. Now you can download the MWC 2022 app. You need this at all times. Make sure you upload your health certificate to the online registration system or the MWC 2022 app before you travel. This can be proof of vaccination, a valid certificate of recovery, or a negative test that's valid for the day of test plus up to 2 additional days, either a PCR or rapid antigen test. The app is also your digital badge for touchless entry to the venue and lets you access great features from scheduling to networking. And don't forget, each day you'll need to complete a health declaration on the app, which activates your digital badge for that day. Perfect. Now you're done with registration. Here are a few tips. Use hand sanitizers frequently. Wear a FFP2 mask without valve and bearing the CE mark at all times. And keep your distance. And remember, if you do need a test, our medical partner, Kiron Prevention, can help you find a convenient location. Now you're ready for business. Whether you're flying into sunny Barcelona or joining us virtually, we can't wait to welcome you back to MWC 2022, the place where business gets done safely.
We are Kyndryl. We design, build, manage, and modernize the mission-critical technology systems that the world depends on every day. Working with our customers, we imagine things differently. By forging new strategic partnerships, we unlock new possibilities, creating a world powered by healthy digital systems alive with opportunity, oxygen to innovation, and energy to change the world. We are Kyndryl, and we are the heart of progress.
Oh.
Hello, good morning and welcome. Welcome to day 3 here at MWC 22 in Barcelona. It's great to have your company. And wow, what a day it is going to be today. It's going to be a lot about the metaverse. So we thought, let's start at the SK Telecom stand because there is a ride that is causing a lot of raised eyebrows and a lot of long queues. I've got Rachel with me from SK Telecom. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for inviting us onto your stand.
Yes.
Into IFLAND, I should say. What is IFLAND? That's the big concept here.
Yes, actually the concept of this year MWC is show you the metaverse service to the users. So IFLAND is the Korean metaverse service, which is already successfully launched. And now we are showing this service to the international users.
So IFLAND has got lots and lots of different applications, some of them business applications, some of them a little bit more fun.
Yes.
And you brought me into, what's this, Jump Studio?
Yeah, actually we are here at Jump Studio. We are producing 3D volumetric contents in here. So the volumetric contents we'll be using for AR or VR so that we can utilize those contents into that metaverse.
So who's this?
She's Jamie. She's one of the famous K-pop star, and she is filming the 3D contents we'll be utilizing for the metaverse world.
I think we should go and see how that turned out.
Yes,
because you've actually you can then come and enjoy the concert here as well. So let's wander around this side. Oh, fantastic. Okay. So tell me what we've got here.
So we have unique background in the metaverse world, but here we have the K-pop concert because K-pop is the world phenomena these days. So this gentleman is enjoying the K-pop concert using this HMD, which is head-mounted this device. He can actually enjoy and immerse himself into the metaverse concert.
Oh, it looks great.
Yes.
It looks fantastic, but a lot of people want to do that. Right, Rachel, come this way with me, because the ride that everyone is talking about, your 4D metaverse ride.
Yes, it's a really popular.
So what's the idea? So is it a fly through the metaverse?
Yes, SK Telecom planning to provide an urban air mobility service within 2025. So we want to give immersive experience by using the simulator.
And there they go. So talk us through the sort of thing that they're going to be enjoying at the moment.
Yes, so they are actually flying in the metaverse world, and the UAM stands for urban air mobility. So in order to reduce the carbon reduction, SK Telecom trying our best to give a new concept of transportation system in the future.
So are they sort of experiencing what that transportation system could be like?
Because the big cities like Seoul or like New York, they need some solution for the traffic problem. So by providing this urban air mobility, we can also provide some greener future, and also we can experience this immersive situation.
So what's the ride like? Have you been on it yet?
Yes. It's like you're flying in the air and experience the future.
That is amazing. So the idea is that you cut down on, obviously everyone wants to cut down on pollution, on the carbon emission, and also pollution as well. So what are the sort of the systems that are being worked on at the moment then for that?
Because it requires a lot of content, capacity of content. So we need to provide a very tight 5G infrastructure to make it happen, So that is why the SK Telecom are showing you the real technical information throughout this MWC. So if you want to learn more about SK Telecom, please come to our booth.
Well, I noticed that you've got sort of like the more serious booths around the back where things are happening. Now, you said IFLAND had been already launched in South Korea. You're looking now to launch globally?
Yes.
Fantastic. And that is what, later this year or?
Yeah, within this year.
This year. Fantastic. Rachel, thank you so much for showing us around. It's been an absolute pleasure. And I think they've been thoroughly enjoying it as
if
well.
you want to fly to the future, come to SK Telecom.
Rachel, thank you. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Back to the studio. I'm here with Kyndryl Global Practice Leader for Network and Edge, Paul Saville. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
How have traditional networks made it difficult for businesses to react to changing business dynamics and take full advantage of multi-cloud and edge?
Well, the problem with legacy type networks is just that they're inflexible. They've been built with architectures that involve hardware that's separated from the software. In these days, you'd have to deploy a router, a physical device on the customer premise. You had physical circuits like layer 1 and layer 2 that were connecting everything together, made it very hard for networks to be flexible and to be able to move around. With SDN technology, that changes things, and a lot of the over-the-top type technology is enabling us to reconfigure networks on the fly and make them much more easier to use.
What's the significance of edge when it comes to Industry 4.0 and digital transformation?
Well, the advent of edge compute is really enabling enterprises to take advantage of another type of architectural construct that gives them more optionality in terms of building out different types of performance criteria and operational cost structures. It's kind of like establishing a third landing spot that gives them an additional alternative for how they can configure their networks together and tie together with compute and distributed applications.
So you've recently partnered with Nokia. Could you tell us a bit more about that as companies are looking at industrial 5G and private networks?
Yes, our new partnership with Nokia is very exciting because basically together what we've done is we've created an ability to deploy at a global level private 5G networks for enterprises. This private 5G technology is really exciting, and the potential that it has for enterprise customers to use it and configure it in different ways is really amazing, but it's hard for them to deploy. When you think about going and having to acquire the spectrum, do the radio design, do the deployment on site, connect it up to local area networks and wide area networks, that's a pretty big job for many enterprise IT departments to handle. And so Kyndryl and Nokia together have put together a turnkey solution for enterprises to solve that.
So now Kyndryl's separate from IBM. What's changed?
Well, what's changed is that Kyndryl has the freedom to do a lot more things that they want to do. You know, we have the ability to now go out and partner with different companies in a way that we've never been able to. You may have seen that we have recently announced multiple new alliance relationships with all of the hyperscalers, with a number of companies that we've been wanting to work with for a long time that really enable us to introduce technology that allows us to continuously scan the technology landscape for our customers and recommend the best technology solutions for them.
That's great. Thanks for your insights.
Thank you.
at Barcelona's international economic hub. 1 million square meters for the city's economy. More than 60,000 new jobs. More than 8,000 homes. More economic activity, more employment, more housing, more public facilities, more green spaces, more opportunities, more community, more Barcelona. 22 at Barcelona City Council.
What is all this about?
Shall we take a look?
Good.
I'm so excited!
Open your eyes. Pay attention, please. We have enough with 10 reasons to convince you. 10 reasons to bring you to Barcelona. The countdown begins. 10. Barcelona is unique. A modern and inclusive city. A diverse and dynamic economy. A metropolitan region open to the Mediterranean. 9. A city with a project. The Barcelona Green Deal. An ambitious agenda that sets new social, economic and urban horizons. 8. A European gateway to the world, with an international airport, a port, a trade fair, and a free trade and logistical activities platform within a 5 kilometers radius. 7. A competitive and diversified economic engine, a region at the forefront of the digital revolution. 6. A magnet for startups and scale-ups, host of outstanding world events, a technological capital that acts as a bridge between startups and large corporations. 5. A pole that creates and attracts talent, with a powerful network of public universities, research centers, and the best business schools in Europe. 4. A city that inspires, that facilitates the best conditions for creative minds in the creative industries, in culture, in technology, in sport, and in business. 3. A solid and mature research ecosystem, consolidated as one of the scientific capitals of Europe. 2. A mixed and compact urban model. A vibrant, sustainable and cohesive city with quality public spaces. 1. A city for a lifetime project. The place to combine professional and personal growth every day under the Mediterranean sun. And now, yes, welcome to the city of your life. A city with a global ambition and a human scale. Let us be your best ally in Barcelona.
Hello and welcome to Barcelona. Welcome to MWC 22. It is an absolute pleasure to be with you. Should I be saying welcome back to Barcelona? Because this is the first time in 3 years of the February incarnation of MWC here in Barcelona. And my goodness me, you don't need me to tell you that in the last 2 years, the world has changed so much. Now, as we know, this is the place where the industry meets to talk. And so high on their list, of course, after the last couple of years, will be connectivity, resilience, security. So important now these days. All those topics and innovation, everything being thrown together, talked about here at MWC. And the industry is really here. So we wanted to actually start on the show floor. Now, I'm just going to make it clear, the gates don't open for another half hour. So you're either watching this in your hotel rooms or on the big screens outside and waiting still to get in. There's another half hour to go, but I just wanted to show you what it was like in here. So let's spin round. I've got myself by the T-Mobile stand. Sustainability and their commitments and community, all important to them on their stand this year. Let's have a look at Orange over there. And now let me take you down the walkway this way. Come with me this way. Now, if you know MWC, you probably know exactly where I am. I'm in Hall 3, walking down the walkway to the bit that cross-sections over to go to Hall 4. Just wanted to show you the Samsung stand. Huge stand from Samsung this year. And as Samsung always is, everything is behind that big screen there. So we will be on that stand a little later in the week. Oh, Telefonica over on behind my shoulder that way. And just while we're having a quick look at Telefonica, I don't know whether you've spotted the 5G barman. I think definitely there'll be a few drinks here in Barcelona a little bit later. We'll be on all these stands as the days go on here at MWC, but I just wanted to give you a flavour of what it was like this year. Come with me this way. We've got SK here. It's a big stand from SK. I think that is a great dance arena there. Now, what you can see in the middle is something that they're calling the 4D metaverse. That's another topic that's going to be so high on everyone's list this year. What actually is the metaverse? Well, according to SK, it's got something to do with a roller coaster. We'll be testing that out a little bit later, I am sure. Let me bring you a bit further down this way. And over to my right, we have Microsoft. Their stand there on the corner. And then, just let you have a look at Microsoft, there we go. And then if you swing down this way, over here, we've got Amdocs, Qualcomm, ZTE, all in their usual spaces there. Oh, and right at the end of that hall, there's Nokia. Now, again, if you've been to Barcelona before, you'll know exactly where I am, now at the walkway that goes down between the halls. So that way is where we are headed now. That's down to Hall 4 where the keynotes are. Plus, this year, it's where our broadcast hub is. And on our broadcast hub this morning is Justin Springham. So, Justin, I'm going to make my way down to you now, and I'll let you have a little bit of a chat and a bit of a look around, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you, Sasha. Yes, as she said, we are most definitely back, and I'm on our broadcast hub on Industry City. Good morning, everybody. My name is Justin Springham. It is an absolute pleasure to welcome you to MWC 22. We are delighted to be back in Barcelona. And as always here on Mobile World Live, well, we can promise you an amazing lineup over the next few days. We've got a world-class roster of keynote speakers, and they're ready to help us all explore the industry's biggest challenges and, of course, the most exciting opportunities. And as always, we'll be talking to the people in the know to find out what's really happening in our industry. And of course, we'll be out and about on the show floor, seeing everything and meeting everyone who matters, from the biggest companies to the smartest new challengers. It really does promise to be an amazing event. And at Mobile World Live, we'll be here with you every step of the way. So let's get started, and really here to talk about what everyone can expect from this year's event. I am delighted to welcome Kenichi Okaliki. Now, Kenichi is Director of Regional and Social Research at GSMA Intelligence. Kenichi, thank you very much for joining us. It is great to see you.
Thank you, Justin.
It's Monday morning here at MWC. How's it feel to be back at a real-life, in-person event?
Yeah, no, it's really exciting, to be back in person, to see lots of people around. Obviously, Mobile World Live is a really big event for the mobile industry, and it's really good to have everybody together back in person. Obviously, there are lots of health and safety, protocols in place. People are still wearing their masks. A lot of measures have been put in place to really keep people safe, but it really goes to show how important it is for the industry to come together, to meet once again in person, have meetings, and of course, chat the future of the industry, if I'm to put it that way.
And has it been 3 years since you've been inside the halls of the fair? Because as Sasha said in our intro, we haven't been here since what, February 2019?
Well, for me, it's 4 years actually. I was here last in 2018. So it's really good to be back after such a long time, and really good to see everybody. A lot has changed, but you could say not much has changed. The setups are still really good to see, but yeah, really looking forward to what we're going to have over the next 4 days.
I think the exciting thing, Kenichi, that I've just seen in the last 20 minutes or so is the doors haven't even officially opened.
Yes.
We've already got lots of people walking up and down the halls.
Absolutely.
There's a buzz coming, right?
Yeah.
Tell me some of the things that you're going to be up to this week, Kenichi. Let's start, if I may.
Yeah.
Monday morning is always a big news.
Yes.
Day for the GSMA and obviously for all the exhibitors here as well. Now, you've got a particular news announcement that you're putting out. This is something you work on. I know you put an awful lot of blood, sweat and tears into it. So do tell us about it. It's called the Mobile Economy Report.
It is called the Mobile Economy Report, and it will be launched this morning. We're really putting a lot of efforts into this year's edition of the report, and it's got a few highlights, that we really want people to know about. I'm going to call out a few of them. 5G. This year, we're going to see 5G hit the 1 billion connections mark, which is a really important milestone for the technology. It's really grown even faster than previous generations. It reached this milestone quicker than 3G and 4G, and that it's really telling us how important people all around the world are seeing this technology. It's beginning to mature, and this momentum is going to continue, going forward. Obviously, COVID-19 has really brought to the fore the importance of connectivity, to people. So apart from, individuals using, mobile connectivity, we're also beginning to see industries, beginning to use technologies for so many things. Supply chains are being remodeled, business models, are also being, changed, as it were, and technology and connectivity will be right at the center. And 5G will obviously play a very important role. But in the report, we've also highlighted something really important to the GSMA, going forward, and that is the usage gap. The fact that today the coverage gap, which is, the people who are not covered by any mobile broadband network at all, has reduced to 6% of the global population. That's still a lot.
So most people live within access to a network.
Yes, most people live within access to a mobile broadband network. But yes, 6% is still a lot. That's about 450 million people, and the industry, still doing a lot, to reach these people. But then the usage gap has not moved at all in the last decade. It has remained above 40%, and that translates to about 3.2 billion people who are covered by mobile broadband networks, but don't yet subscribe to a mobile internet service. We've highlighted this in the report, and the need, for collaboration. The industry will need to work hard. Governments will need to step in. Other stakeholders will need to step in to really close the usage gap.
Yeah, I was going to ask if it actually points out steps and advice, because the fact that it hasn't changed in so many years, I mean, this is a very fast-moving industry. We normally expect to see so much progress every year, but it has stalled, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, it just, points to the barriers, the fact that the barriers to mobile internet usage remain very strong. For so many people, it's affordability. Okay, devices are still too expensive, for them. For some other people, it might just be digital skills. They don't have the digital skills to really use mobile internet, or they don't see, the relevance of mobile internet services to them. So there's a whole lot to do to improve relevance, to obviously, help people improve their digital skills. And may I also mention, online safety and security. A lot of people are not going online because they're scared, of things that could, they could encounter online, whether it's them being hacked or, facing abuse, and we know that, disadvantaged groups, pretty much are in this category. So be it women, be it, the disabled, or people with some form of disadvantage or the other, they are the most vulnerable, to these issues online, and these are some of the things holding them back from going online. Yeah.
Kenichi, you mentioned at the beginning there that there's a 1 billion milestone, I think, that operators are going to hit in terms of 5G connections this year. Does this mean we're going to see lots more money spent on building out these networks?
That's the reality, right? Operators will obviously need to invest, in the networks, and it's their investment really that have brought us to this stage, and that's going to continue, over the next few years. Apart from, markets where 5G is already established, where they might be looking to invest more in capacity and expand into other areas, we're also going to see lots of investments in new markets. Okay, so the likes of India, the likes of Brazil, okay, some countries in Africa are going to really be investing in 5G going forward. So yes, 5G will continue to see lots of investments, and we've put in the report our forecast for mobile operators capex between now and 2025. Operators will spend over $600 billion in their networks, and 85% of that will be based on 5G.
Talking of Gs, there's been lots of talk recently about operators. I mean, operators are starting to close down some of the older generations. So is there still life left in the old Gs, if we can call it that?
Oh, well, for so many people, for now, yes, okay, they're still using 2G, still using 3G, and so on. However, there are efforts to migrate these people onto 4G and eventually 5G. And so we're beginning to see that all around the world, operators are beginning to announce roadmaps, right, to, shut down the 2G and 3G networks, the earlier, generations. So, yeah, this trend is going to continue in the next, few years. But before that happens, there's still a lot of work to move a whole lot of people who are still stuck to their 2G and 3G, connections onto 4G and 5G. That's already happening, in many developed countries, but yeah, developing countries are where we still have that challenge. And one of the issues really, is device affordability. 4G devices are still expensive for a whole lot of people.
Yeah, still a big problem.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit more about the wider hopes and expectations for the show. Are there any personal highlights? What are you looking forward to seeing this week?
Well, first of all, I've had so many Zoom meetings.
Just the fact that we're able to talk person to person is exciting.
So really looking forward to meeting people face to face. There are people I've already had calls with, for various projects, but the fact that we're able to meet here in person is something I'm really looking forward to. I know the keynotes are going to be fantastic, so I'm really looking forward to the keynotes as well. New themes are probably going to, appear in this year's event. Metaverse, for example. It should be good to see what people are saying about the metaverse. 6G, still early days, not many people talking about it, but a whole lot of research going into it already. So it'd be good to see if anyone, says what their thoughts and visions, are, for 6G. And we obviously expect to see lots of, innovative products and solutions across the ecosystem. So yeah, really looking forward to all of this week.
And the GSMA intelligence team.
Yes.
You're here in force?
In force, yeah.
Yes. Are you holding events, summits, anything like that? What can our viewers expect to see
Well,
from
we're
GSMA
basically going to be
Intelligence?
having lots of meetings. We're going to be here talking to Mobile World Live and
Every
your
morning,
audience.
I hope. Every morning, every evening.
Yes. So, and we've got lots of reports that we're also, publishing at this event. So, yeah, all of those are going to be going out over the next few weeks.
Kanishi, you're our first guest of the week. It's been an absolute pleasure talking
is
with
my
you. Thank you for
pleasure.
getting up so early, even before the doors have opened. But thank you for sharing your
Justin.
insights.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. You are watching Mobile World Live. We are your ever-present, ever-curious and ever-connected companion for MWC 22. Now, the doors are officially open, I believe now, so do stay tuned. We're going to bring you everything that the show floor has to offer. Joining me in the studio today is Liz Bauer, who's the Chief Customer and Marketing Officer at CSG. Liz, great to see you.
Great to see you, Justin.
Now, you've had a busy few months. You've just launched a product called CSG Encompass. Tell us a little bit about that and what does it do for operators?
Thanks for the question. Yes, CSG Encompass we're very excited about. It really builds on our pedigree of being experts in the monetization of B2B complex billing. And the most important thing about CSG Encompass is it enables operators and communication service providers to really navigate that multi-sided business equation where you have partners, you have consumers, you have businesses, and you're leveraging your network to create a new economy, new vertical stacks serving manufacturing, retail, financial services. So it really allows communication service providers to take monetization and optimize the time to value in that 5G network. As we've helped operators navigate from 3G to 4G, identify new services that can be monetized, now we're ready for that next step. And 5G increases the complexity associated with delivering these new services. It envisions an economy or a business model in which partners co-create and collaborate and offer their services. And network service providers move beyond connectivity in developing products and solutions that serve new verticals. So CSG Encompass was built from the ground up. It's an integrated modular SaaS platform built on industry standards. And it really isn't necessarily about simplifying the complex, but making the complex easy and seamless and invisible to the consumer.
And Encompass follows the earlier launch of a product called Exponent. How do those two fit together then, Liz?
So if you look at the Encompass solution, it really is all around that commerce, that digital commerce and monetization. Encompass really optimizes, it's our solution that goes out and listens with intent for that user journey so that we combine our customer data platform, our journey orchestration and analytics, combined with our omni-channel communications to look at the various ways that a partner or a business or a network provider can follow the journey and identify the next best action for that journey to create a better business outcome, to create a quicker time to value, and also minimize the risk in rolling out these new services.
And Liz, you're Chief Customer and Marketing Officer. So I think that makes you quite well placed to tell us, how do you deliver great experiences to customers from CSG's perspective?
Yeah, thanks. We're really fortunate because we work so closely with our customers and we're constantly engaging with them, whether that's on site with them, in customer advisory councils, product focus groups, customer satisfaction surveys. And the one thing that our customers consistently tell us is it's not what we do as much as how we do it. And if you go and you look at our mission statement, we talk about channeling the power of all to create extraordinary experiences for our customers and our employees. There's a very important aspect of that, and that is the first words, which is by channeling the power of all. That means that our employees are willing to co-create, collaborate with our customers and our partners to create these solutions that are enabling our customers to be relevant, survive, and thrive in this new economy. So really, while we develop these innovative solutions, it really is our people that work so closely with industry experts, leading brands around the world to create solutions that really help our customers thrive in this new economy.
Liz, thank you very much for the insight. We wish you a fantastic in-person MWC 22.
Thank you, Justin. Appreciate it.
Visit AWS Village in the upper walkway of the Fira South entrance. Interact with AWS experts, explore demos, and discover partner solutions. See you there.
We are Kyndryl. We design, build, manage, and modernize the mission-critical technology systems that the world depends on every day. Working with our customers, we imagine things differently. By forging new strategic partnerships, we unlock new possibilities, creating a world powered by healthy digital systems, alive with opportunity, oxygen to innovation, and energy to change the world. We are Kyndryl, and we are the heart of progress.
Barcelona welcomes talent. Barcelona International Welcome Desk is a personalized service for international talent and their families who come to Barcelona to invest, study, research, work, or develop highly innovative and job-creating projects with a positive socioeconomic impact on the local area. Barcelona International Welcome Desk offers information and personalized advice on practical issues for living in the Barcelona area, such as permits, documentation, pets, housing, education, taxation, and mobility. It can also handle some of the bureaucratic procedures that are required when moving to Barcelona to start working there or set up a business. Book an appointment at barcelona.cat/welcome desk to be assisted either in person at the Media TIC building or online. Welcome, talent.
Oh.
wander right the way down to the end of Hall 3, you will find Fisker Inc. And it is, I'm very pleased to say, the launch of a new car here at MWC 22. We've got the CEO and chairman of Fisker Inc. with me, Henrik. Thanks for joining us. Thank you for letting us look at your car. Tell me about it.
Absolutely. Well, we're here at the conference because it's all about connectivity and technology, and we are more of a tech sustainable company. We're doing the European launch of the electric Fisker Ocean, which starts at 41,600 euros. So it's not another supercar. It's actually a car you can afford, and it's fully connected, as you would expect, with over-the-air updates. We've got our own flexible app, which is fully connected with the car, and actually us as a company. So we don't have any middlemen dealers. We sell direct to the customers.
So where do you think you sit in the market? How would you describe yourself? First off, are you a tech company or a car company?
Well, I would say we're a tech company, a
Okay.
sustainable tech company. And, you know, we are a premium car company, but our first vehicle still starts at a reasonable price. So I think we're more in that premium EV segment. And, you know, I always say to people, if you could pick 5 cars over 100,000 euro that are really cool electric cars, but try and pick a really cool electric car under 45,000 euro. That's more difficult. So that's the market segment we wanted to go into.
So you're not going after Tesla?
Well, I think later we will have some more luxury vehicles, but at this point we are more thinking to come into this sort of mid-market segment with a really cool looking SUV.
But it is a sector that everyone's trying to go after at the moment. So what do you think that you've got that is going to make your car stand out?
So we have the longest range of any SUV or crossover in the world in our price range. So up to 630 kilometers, or in England is 390 miles. And we have also a couple of features that nobody else have. We have California mode where all the windows go down. And we have a roof with solar that can give you over 3,000 kilometers a year.
Okay, let's talk about the solar roof, okay, because that's one that everyone sort of raised an eyebrow about. If I just sort of stand back, we can sort of take a look as well. I don't know whether you can sort of get up high so you can see the solar panel on the top of the roof. There we go. Now that slides down, doesn't it?
Slides. There's actually 2 solar panels. Obviously, if you drive open, you have one of them, but normally when it's closed, there's both of them. And again, actually, we had to invent a special converter to actually get the solar energy into the high voltage battery and get it to charge fast. So over 3,000 kilometers a year of value is pretty good. Obviously, you have to live in a place where you get the sun.
I was going to say, that's not going to work for somewhere like the UK, is it? Or Northern Europe. That's just not going to be the case. I mean, is it still worth it?
So let me tell you what you have for the UK. I know there was just a big storm where you lost power. So one of the other cool things about the Fisker Ocean is you can actually power your home up to 7 days with this full battery. So it's a bidirectional charging system that we have developed. And you can also, if you have a friend that drives a Fisker that's low on battery capacity, you can drive out and charge your friend's car with our vehicle as well.
Talk to me about infrastructure, charging infrastructure. That is always right front and center of anyone when they want to buy an electric car.
Yeah, I think it's a lot about education. So in the meantime, there is a lot of independent charging groups that put up charging stations. And of course, right now, we still have 90% of people charging at home. But we have just made an investment into Allego, which is a big, one of Europe's largest charging infrastructure groups. And they are planning to expand dramatically their ultra chargers, their super fast chargers. And in the end of the day, we want plug and charge where you just come, the car gets recognized, fully connected. You don't have to think about it, just charge and pay, and that's it.
Henrik, we've got 15 seconds left.
All right.
Hop yourself in the car,
Let me do
and
it.
you literally have 15 seconds to show us
All right, take a look
your
at this
favorite
cool
feature.
screen here. So we got a fully rotating screen, so you can watch a movie and chill out while you are charging the car. So and when you drive, you go like this, and when you watch a movie, you go like that. So, and this is, by the way, a 17.1-inch screen, one of the largest in the industry, and it's super high. You can see how well it's actually showing here. It's very, very high resolution.
That is obviously your favorite feature,
It's
Henrik.
one of my favorite features in the car. I really love it.
All right, Henrik, it's been lovely to meet you and to have a look around the car. Thank you very much for joining us.
Absolutely.
Welcome to Mobile World Live. I'm joined by Dennis Hoffman of Dell Technologies. Dennis, welcome.
Thanks, Michael. Nice to be here.
Dennis, Dell Technologies has been increasing its focus in the telecoms market in recent years. What are your plans for the sector?
Well, in a word, transformation. We formed Dell Technologies 5 years ago to really help the industry transform, in fact, multiple industries. And now that's happening in telecoms.
Absolutely. So you're obviously here at Mobile World Congress 22. What announcements have you got in store for us then?
Well, a number, actually. And they're all really aimed at this telecom transformation trend. The first is around our open telecom ecosystem platform. It's really, think of it as an industry playground to enable collaboration and innovation among all the vendors that are working in the telecom space. Second is a fundamental solution platform that we're using. We call it Multi-Cloud Foundation, and it really helps open up the network from the core to the edge, all the way to the RAN. And the last thing is hardware acceleration. One of the big challenges in Open RAN today is the ability to actually perform at a price level and a performance level that's competent or comparable to the existing legacy architectures.
Now, I mean, you mentioned, obviously, you've sort of set up this division to target this transformation opportunity. So why should customers come to Dell?
Well, I think, frankly, most of the customers are already with Dell in the sense that we are a large global provider of information technology. So most organizations, most network operators globally today have some form of relationship with Dell. What we're really asking them to do is extend that relationship more into the network part of their business. And I think, the reasons are fairly simple. Large global leadership at scale, somebody they can trust to help run their business.
So again, you might also have a bit of a unique perspective on what you see lying ahead for the telecoms industry in the next 12 months and beyond.
Yeah, I think, further opening up of the architecture of the industry over time. As you can see, certainly here at Mobile World Congress, there are so many companies now that are part of this industry. And really some of the superpowers of computing historically, the Microsofts, the Intels, certainly Google, Amazon. We would hopefully put people like Dell in that crowd as well. We're all now very focused on really helping this transformation take place. And I would see that the pace will quicken over time and the opening up will continue.
Well, Dennis, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us here today.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
I'm delighted to be joined on Mobile World Live today by Adolfo Hernandez from AWS. Adolfo, it's great to see you again.
Yeah, great to see you again. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure, Adolfo. Now, in fact, it was only 6 short months or so ago that we last spoke about the transformational efforts that AWS is making in the telecom industry. Can you give us an update on where AWS is today?
Sure. Yeah, it's great to be back and participate this time in person at Mobile World Congress. I have a chance to reconnect with you and with a lot of people in the industry. To your particular questions on progress, since we last spoke, we really continue to see most of the major operators using the cloud in some way. And it's really to see that evolution from, should I really be using the cloud, to how fast can I get to it? Right? So it's really, really good because the demand for telco transformation, digital services is really increasing at a very rapid pace. So I was actually reading a report a couple of weeks ago that says the telco cloud market is going to treble from 2020 to 2026. So really excited about the opportunity and really excited to be working with telco operators to deliver on this promise.
Now, the big show is here, MWC Barcelona 2022. Can you give us a bit of a sneak preview into what we can expect from AWS at the event, Adolfo?
Sure. We have some fabulous things in the store for everybody who's here this year. So please really make sure and come and see us. We are actually quite handy this year. We are located on the upper walkway, literally as you enter the south entrance of the theater, so you can't miss it. Our CEO, Aaron Selipsky, will be giving a main stage keynote on Tuesday morning. In addition, we're building an entire AWS village for attendees to explore and engage AWS experts, our partners, and meet other customers. We're hosting more than 20 sessions in that village theatre with more than 20 lightning talks by our partners and 14 strategic partner booths in the Partner Expo. So it's going to be a full experience. We will have an entire AWS atrium filled with demonstrations, interactive tools. So please, 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 please look for AWS on the MWC mobile application, download the village guide, and come and meet us.
Adolfo, let's talk a bit about how operators are working with AWS. What are some of the biggest benefits that they're seeing?
Yes, we're working together with them to first cloudify the networks with cloud infrastructure and help them gain benefits of scale, reliability, agility, and cost reduction. Second, we're helping them simplify their IT operations via continuous CI/CD, deployment of applications, and improve architectures. Third, since they have a lot of data, we're helping them reimagine the customer experience that they can deliver by injecting AI and machine learning into that data. And then fourth, last but not least, we're helping them with revenue generation and unlocking business growth. And we do that by a combination of go-to-market strategies that bring communications and the cloud together, but also some innovations on the back of 5G.
That's all great, Adolfo. Can you share some examples, though, some case studies?
Absolutely. Let me share with you some examples. So let's start with Verizon, because we've partnered with Verizon across a number of initiatives, from 5G innovation at the edge with the Wavelength program. They have also partnered with us on the rollout of 5G across the United States for their OSS and the provisioning of services. And we've also collaborated with them this year on private MEC to deliver enterprise use cases for Industry 4.0. And then recently, a couple of months ago, we announced a collaboration with them on Project Kuiper. That is a low orbit satellite system that brings connectivity to rural areas. So it's a very, very tight collaboration. Also last spring, Dish Wireless announced that it's building a new 5G cloud native network on AWS, and Swisscom also announced that they've partnered with AWS and Ericsson to build a cloud native standalone 5G core to increase operational efficiency and fuel innovation in the market in Switzerland. And then we've had a number of other examples like Telefonica in Brazil, where they're demonstrating the 5G standalone core over the AWS outposts with Vivo. And then very recently, Telenor announced that they have implemented an entire mobile core in the cloud for the virtual mobile network operator Vimea. So a lot going on, and you'll be hearing about new customers later in this week.
Yeah, Adolfo, that is a great scene setter for AWS at MWC. Any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Yeah, we're just very excited about what's going on and deeply committed to this industry and to really partner with leading telcos around the world to shift the industry and evolve it and really work with them to define how networks are built, how they are operated, how they're deployed, how they're managed in a way that they are really flexible, agile, and cost-effective. With unlimited connectivity and extensive access to cloud computing, we can really offer every school equal access to the same learning tools, every business access to affordable digital tools so that they can innovate and be successful. And we can also work with institutions like healthcare institutions to cure diseases faster. And AWS is here to really help telecom operators to do this, to offer value in very innovative use cases. This is a really exciting time.
Adolfo, it's been great talking with you. Have a great show. Enjoy Barcelona.
Thank you. You too.
Welcome to Mobile World Live. Delighted to be joined by Mark Halfinger, who is CEO of PCCW Global. Mark, welcome.
Thanks very much. It's good to see you again after a long time.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. So Mark, network as a service adoption is really gathering pace, particularly with widespread adoption to the cloud. How do platforms like Console Connect help with that transition?
Well, thanks for the lead-up question. Console Connect is our network as a service brand, which is an automated fabric, which is also integrated with our AS3491 backbone. Network as a service really has a couple of components. First and foremost, the ability to technologically deliver on-demand services through an API. And by any user establishing a port on the Console Connect platform can establish automated connectivity, user to cloud, cloud to cloud, user to network, or network to network. And that's really remarkable. Importantly, on-demand really also means a commercial imperative, the ability to order a service on demand, just for a day, just for a week, just for a month, that becomes unique. So the ability to integrate the commercial offering with the technical capability is what's fueling the on-demand requirements, so that users really are only leveraging network against their cloud requirements or their applicational developments, particularly as they require them. And I think that that's quite exciting.
I mean, tying in with that, I know PCCW is transitioning from a traditional carrier into more of a technology-based sort of company and a provider. How do you see that evolving? What is the work involved, and where do you think that will leave PCCW Global in the future?
Well, about 5 years ago, back in 2017, PCCW Global financially acquired Console Connect, but emotionally, Console Connect, a technology company, acquired PCCW Global. And since that time, frankly, we have become technology-led. We have effectively transformed from what some would have called a legacy telco that operates a global network to a technology-led platform that uses the network as its value add. The key to our business today is technology. That's required dramatic shift. Huge amounts of training of our colleagues, reshaping our organization to a scaled agile framework mindset throughout the organization worldwide, assuring that our 1,500 colleagues around the globe are aware and trained constantly, certified to scaled agile framework principles, operating according to those structures, making sure that everyone understands that everything we do has to be functioning cloud native in a sensible way. You can't be on both sides of the environment. And so we took a strong decision back at the end of 2017 that we are a technology company. And we do that in everything that we have. Certainly we bring with us certain characteristics that existed in the legacy network environment, particularly around personal service. And we do assure that some of that capability, 24/7 customer service, 24/7 security operations service, all of those activities come together with the technology-led Console Connect. But we have already performed our own transformation.
And a major technology you're involved with is IoT. Now, IoT has been around for many years, but how do you see it now evolving, particularly post-pandemic, in terms of use cases?
Okay, so the first part to understand, obviously, is that you have a global network, which we've always had and operated. Second, we've explained that we've automated that with the network as a service or automation capabilities around Console Connect. And then the next step is, how do you include key features of development that are meaningful for communities to create their own ecosystems of value through the Console Connect automated fabric? One of those key communities is, in fact, the IoT ecosystem. We have established an IoT ecosystem across Console Connect, which allows any IoT application to do many things, including provisioning eSIMs on an automated basis throughout the environment. And on our stand here at MWC, we've chosen to bring 8 to 10 different IoT ecosystem providers who leverage our capabilities so that they can demonstrate what they're doing. So we see use cases such as IoT, such as security, such as UCaaS, as being part of the ecosystem of communities that can individually establish themselves through the automated platform without our intervention, without salespeople filling out forms and so on, but rather a user comes on, an application, a cloud, a network, creates that community of value. And IoT, I think, is one of the most meaningful use cases out there that's able to leverage our network, our GRX capability, everything that we're able to do in eSIM, MVNO, and MVNE, and all of that on an automated basis.
And of course, you are also heavily involved in the connectivity business. How are connectivity requirements changing for IoT projects?
Well, I think that what's important when we stress the concept of having a fabric that delivers the automation is also to assure that you can give QoS, quality of service. You wouldn't want some sort of meaningful IoT application, particularly, let's say, around health or wellness, that is dependent on latency or qualities or so on, that could even be meaningful for life, to have some sort of complexity associated to QoS. Having a core backbone infrastructure together with our own underlying transmission means that we're the primary fabric out there that also has a network, and the only network arguably that also has a fabric. That means that we're able to deliver the automation, but also assure the QoS is there. And I think that's a key element of connectivity. Clouds today are delivering infrastructure as a service, but they're doing that often in a statistical fashion. We provide access to that cloud infrastructure, but we do so with a guarantee of what the quality will be to get there.
Mark, really insightful. Thanks for your time.
It's great to see you again, as always, and I hope you enjoy the show this year.
You too.